Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, well, I'm no Brad Pitt? Maybe you've noticed the gray hair, the laugh lines, or that your jawline's not quite what it used to be. It's easy to focus on what's changed as we age. But let me ask you something. What if being a good-looking older man isn't about looking young at all? Here's the truth most people miss. Attractive older men don't try to look 30 again. They lean into their age with confidence, carry themselves with purpose, and leave an impression without saying a word. And chances are, you're one of them, even if you've never been told. You might not see it in yourself yet, but others do. Especially in age gap relationships, where women, often younger women, are drawn to something deeper, something more grounded. And today, we're going to uncover 8 subtle, powerful signs that you're a good-looking older man, even if you don't believe it yet. Let's start with something you probably didn't expect: your calm presence. When you were younger, maybe you felt pressure to be the loudest in the room. But now, you know you don't need to prove anything. There's a certain kind of magnetism in a man who walks slowly, speaks softly, and listens more than he talks. That calm energy? It's rare and incredibly attractive. You've probably been through enough storms in life to know that panic never solves anything. And whether it's your grown kids asking for advice, a younger coworker looking up to you, or a woman enjoying a quiet dinner conversation, your calm presence is what keeps people drawn in. It's not just confidence, it's steadiness. And that's a kind of beauty that only comes with age. The second sign? Your eyes still smile. You may have crow's feet, sure. But those lines don't make you look old, they make you look lived in. Your eyes tell stories. They hold kindness, humor, patience, and maybe even a bit of mischief. That sparkle in your eyes? It's far more powerful than a wrinkle-free face. You see, younger men often have energy, but they haven't learned how to be fully present. But you? When you look someone in the eye, they feel seen. When you smile, it feels earned. You don't smile because you're trying to impress. You smile because you mean it. And that kind of genuine expression is magnetic. Another reason you might be more attractive than you realize is simple, but overlooked: you know how to dress yourself. Now, this doesn't mean you need a designer wardrobe or the latest trends. In fact, most older men who look good don't follow fashion, they understand style. You wear clothes that fit well, that feel like you, and that show you respect yourself. That alone sets you apart. Think about it. How many younger men do you see with wrinkled shirts, sagging jeans, or sneakers that look like they survived a war? But you? Maybe you wear a clean button-down, a leather belt, shoes you've polished, and maybe even a signature hat. Those little touches speak volumes. It says, I take care of myself. I care how I present myself. That's not vanity, that's dignity. And it's incredibly appealing. Now, let's talk about something many older men underestimate: your voice. You might not notice it, but your voice carries weight now. It's slower, maybe deeper. It doesn't rush to fill silence, it lets words breathe. When you speak, people listen. And that kind of authority? It's attractive. It's not just about tone. It's the stories you tell. The wisdom behind your words. Maybe you share life advice without sounding like a know-it-all. Maybe you crack a joke that actually lands. Or maybe you just know how to say someone's name in a way that makes them feel important. A good-looking man isn't just someone people look at, it's someone people want to listen to. Now let me ask you this: have you ever been told you smell nice? Or that your cologne reminds someone of comfort, safety, or home? That brings us to the next unexpected sign: you've got your own scent, and it works for you. You might wear the same aftershave your father did. Or maybe you found a signature cologne that just feels right. Either way, smell is one of the strongest memory triggers. And when you walk into a room and leave a subtle, masculine scent behind, that's not just attractive, it's unforgettable. You'd be surprised how many younger women in age gap relationships say this: there's just something about the way he smells, it makes me feel safe. And trust me, that has nothing to do with six-pack abs or trendy haircuts. And speaking of hair, yes, maybe it's thinner than it used to be. Maybe it's completely silver or even gone altogether. But here's something younger men can't fake: the elegance of age. Think about it. Look at a silver fox walking down the street in a crisp shirt, walking tall, smiling with confidence. Is he trying to be 35 again? No. He's embracing what he is, and that's what makes him attractive. When you own your age, you give others permission to admire it. When you stand tall with that silver beard or clean-shaven head, you're not hiding anything. And that honesty? It's refreshing. Especially to women who are tired of filters and fakery. So, if you've ever doubted how good you look now that you're older, I hope you'll take a moment to see what others already see in you. You're not trying too hard. You're not desperate to impress. And you don't need to chase approval, because you've already earned respect. Let's keep going. Because if you've related to any of this so far, wait until we talk about how your body language, your calmness under pressure, and even the way you walk into a room say more about you than any dating profile ever could. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't always get the credit it deserves: your posture. If you walk into a room standing tall, with your shoulders back and head held high, people notice. And not just because it looks confident, but because it signals vitality. It says, here I am, and I still feel strong in who I am. Good posture doesn't just make you look better, it makes you feel better. It's an instant upgrade, like putting on a well-fitted jacket. Women, young and older, notice a man who carries himself well. It's not about pretending to be young. It's about owning your space like someone who's lived and learned and still has presence. That kind of presence? It's magnetic. And speaking of presence, let's take a moment to appreciate how attractive emotional steadiness is. You know that calm you've developed over the years? That ability to pause instead of react, to listen instead of rush in with opinions, that's not something most younger guys have figured out. You've seen things. You've made it through hard moments. And now you've got this quiet strength, this kind of inner stillness that makes others feel safe around you. You may not even realize you're doing it, but when you walk into a room and bring that sense of calm with you, people feel it. In fact, it's one of the reasons why many younger women are drawn to older men. It's not about age, it's about stability. You radiate security, wisdom, and peace. And that's attractive in any decade. Now let's move to something more visual: your eyes. The lines around them, the softness in your gaze, the way you look at someone when you're really paying attention, that tells a story. A story of someone who's lived, who's loved, who's lost, and who still sees beauty in people. Those aren't just wrinkles, my friend, they're character. They're proof of laughter, of squinting at sunsets, of long conversations and meaningful moments. When a younger person locks eyes with you and sees that depth, that warmth, that realness, it's different. You're not looking through them, you're looking at them. And in today's fast, surface-level world, that kind of connection stands out like a lighthouse. Let's also talk about how attractive it is when a man has a strong sense of style, not necessarily trendy, but personal. Maybe it's the way you always have a clean shirt tucked in, or how you choose classic pieces that never go out of fashion. Maybe it's your favorite leather shoes that are older than some of your neighbors but still look sharp. Or your signature cologne that people recognize even after you've left the room. It's not about flashy outfits or expensive brands, it's about intention. You take pride in how you show up. You care enough to look put together. That effort tells the world that you respect yourself, and that earns you admiration. Younger men might chase fashion. But you've built a timeless look, and that never gets old. And while we're on the subject of things that don't fade with age, your voice. Maybe it's gotten deeper, steadier, or a little gravelly over the years. That's not a flaw, that's distinction. There's something deeply comforting and grounding about a mature man's voice. It's like hearing a familiar song you didn't know you missed. Your tone, your pace, the way you speak without rushing or trying to impress, it's all part of your appeal. In a world full of noise, your voice cuts through with calm and clarity. When you speak, people lean in. That's not just good looks, that's gravitas. Let's not forget how good it looks when a man knows how to laugh. And I don't mean forced or over-the-top laughter. I'm talking about the kind of laugh that bubbles up from the belly, the one that comes from decades of finding humor even in hard times. If you're someone who can laugh at yourself, who still finds joy in small things, that lights you up in a way no gym routine ever could. Joy is youthful. And when you carry joy with you, when you smile with your whole face and your eyes crinkle up, it's incredibly attractive. That light inside you? That's what people fall for. Not how many hairs are left on your head. And here's something that might surprise you, how attractive it is when you show kindness without needing recognition. Maybe you hold the door a second longer, or you speak respectfully to someone who isn't expecting it. Maybe you tip generously or offer help before anyone asks. That quiet generosity is rare. And it's powerful. It sends a message that you're secure enough not to keep score. That you give because you can, not because you're trying to impress. Younger women, anyone, really, can feel that. They can sense the difference between someone who's performing kindness and someone who lives it. And when you live it, you become unforgettable. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on this. You don't need to look like a movie star or chase youth to be attractive. You already have something deeper. You've got the kind of good looks that come from character, not concealer. From life lived, not filters. The world might celebrate smooth skin, but let me tell you, there's a whole other kind of beauty in wisdom, warmth, and confidence. And when you bring all that into a conversation, into a relationship, into a room, it changes the atmosphere. Let's talk about the power of self-awareness. This one isn't flashy like a jawline or a six-pack, but it might be the most attractive quality of all. When a man knows who he is, what he values, and what he stands for, it's magnetic. You've had years, decades even, to figure out what matters most to you. You no longer waste time pretending. You no longer bend yourself to fit someone else's mold. You've become unapologetically yourself. And that confidence? That inner knowing? That's incredibly attractive. You don't need to compete. You don't need to compare. You've already run your race, and you're still going. That quiet confidence radiates from the inside out. Whether you're sitting on a bench enjoying your morning coffee or speaking with someone across a dinner table, the way you carry your story with humility and pride, it makes people want to listen, want to be near you. That's a rare kind of good looking that no anti-aging cream can fake. And then there's the way you make people feel. This is often overlooked in traditional definitions of handsome. But think about it, when someone spends time with you, do they leave feeling lighter? Heard? Understood? If so, that's your gift. One of the most underrated signs of attractiveness is emotional intelligence, your ability to tune into others without judgment. The way you listen when someone speaks. The way you nod with understanding instead of trying to fix everything. The way you let silence sit instead of filling it with noise. These are signs of deep emotional maturity, and they're far more attractive than a fresh haircut. People remember how you made them feel. Long after they forget the details of your conversation or the clothes you wore, they'll remember the warmth in your voice or the respect in your eyes. That's what makes someone unforgettable. And if that's the kind of man you've become over the years, you, my friend, are a very good-looking older man. Now, let's touch on another quality, resilience. Think of all you've overcome, loss, change, challenges you never saw coming. And yet here you are. Still standing. Still trying. Still growing. That kind of resilience gives you a glow. It may not show up in magazine covers, but people can feel it. It's in your patience. It's in your willingness to try again. It's in your refusal to give up on life or love, no matter your age. You see, resilience adds character to your face, your posture, even your sense of humor. People admire those who have weathered storms and still carry hope. You might not realize it, but when you share your story, or simply show up with a kind word or a wise perspective, you're showing people what true strength looks like. And believe me, that's attractive in every way. And here's another beautiful truth: your age makes you more intriguing, not less. There's a certain mystique around a man who has lived through decades of change, who's read books that are no longer on shelves, who's danced to music that came out on vinyl. You hold history in your memory. You carry stories that younger folks can only imagine. That richness of experience makes you different. When you speak about the past, or offer insight about the present, people listen. Not because you're older, but because you've seen more. And because you speak with the wisdom of time. Let's not forget, women, especially younger women in age-gap relationships, are often drawn to this exact richness. It's not just about how you look, it's about how you live, how you love, how you think. You've become a library, a mentor, a man who's still passionate about life. That's rare. And it's valuable. You know what else is attractive? A man who knows how to slow down. In a world that moves too fast, scrolling, swiping, rushing, your ability to savor life stands out. Maybe it's the way you take your time in conversation, the way you enjoy your morning routine, or how you're present when you're with someone. That presence is a form of beauty. You're not distracted. You're here. And that kind of mindfulness? That makes people feel seen, valued, and safe. And finally, your kindness to yourself. If you've learned, even a little, to stop being your own worst critic, if you've started speaking to yourself with compassion, if you've accepted the lines in the mirror instead of fighting them, you're showing a rare kind of self-love. And people notice that. Self-love is magnetic. When others see that you don't need to be perfect to be proud of who you are, it gives them permission to love themselves too. And that kind of energy, it's healing. It's grounding. And yes, it's very, very attractive. So, if you're an older man who doesn't quite see himself as good-looking, maybe it's time to shift the lens. Maybe it's time to stop chasing the version of attractiveness sold on magazine covers and start seeing what the world sees when you walk into a room: a man who's lived, loved, learned, and still shows up fully. That's rare. That's beautiful. And that's you. You don't need perfect skin or perfect teeth. You need presence, warmth, confidence, humility, laughter, patience, curiosity, kindness. These are the features that never wrinkle, never gray, never fade. They only deepen. And the more you embrace them, the more good-looking you become. So the next time someone compliments you, don't brush it off. Own it. Because you're not just a good-looking older man. You're the kind of man who gets better with age. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.